stars, certain points, cyborg that needs to save the earth. We'll go for our second pick. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going through all the books that I read in August and also using emojis to pick the books that I'm gonna read in September. So in total I only read 5 books in August, but honestly I'm out of my reading slump now and most of those books were read in the past week and a half, which I'm very proud of. So let's get straight into it. We'll start with the first book that I read of the month, which was Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. So I had super high hopes going into this one just because of how much I loved the Magnolia Parks universe, which Jessa also wrote. And these follow kind of similar personalities. So we're kind of following our main character Georgia, who is this upper class from a very rich family in America. And we basically learn at the start of the book that her dad has passed away. So this basically means that she has to go back to her hometown to see her family again, which she doesn't really get on with most of them. She has like one close family member, but there's just so much drama from like the past 15 years that we uncover in this book. And there is this secret that is unbelievable. Like, I need you to read it because one, it broke my heart just because of all the crap that Georgia has dealt with because of this moment in time and all these lies. It was just beautiful. Once again, Jessa's writing, it's so poetic and whimsical, and she writes really likable characters that I just want to read about. Like, I love reading about rich people, keep giving them to me. But I ended up rating Conditions of Will 4 stars and would highly recommend. Next up was my Yorkshire Girlies book club pick of the month, and this was Silver Elite by Danny Francis. And this is like a dystopian romantasy kind of feel. It honestly took me back to those Divergent days. Obviously a little bit more spicy than Divergent was, but it was all those vibes that I was looking for. It really did fill that hole, and this is the book that got me out of my slump. It was the first book in ages that I've binged. I think I finished this within 2 days, and it was so fun. Within this world, very similar to Powerless by Lauren Roberts, we have people that are like normal blooded, and then we have the silver bloods. So these silver bloods have come from what was the word they used to describe it? A mutation in a way. So something happened during a war and then some of the population got mutated and then received these powers as well through this mutation. So like, some people can read minds, some people can move objects, or even like force people to do something that they don't want to do. So our main character is actually a silver blood, but she has been in hiding. She has managed to not get caught thus far. However, she ends up finding herself on like the most elite training regime for their army, and I was stressed the whole time that the secret was going to come out. Honestly, it's such a fun, enjoyable read. It just kept you on the edge of your seat. Also, the romance within this was good. I wouldn't say he's my favourite male main character of all time, but he was okay. But if you're looking for something with a strong female lead and something that's probably going to be a good series once all the other books are out, I'm not sure how many Danny Francis will be writing, but you can best tell that I'll be picking that book up on release, or well, when the paperback comes out anyway. But for Silver Elite, I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. So the next 2 books I'm gonna put together just because they are part of a duology, and this is Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. So this is the Letters of Enchantment duology, and this has been on my TBR for the longest time, and I'm so happy that I've gotten around to it. I rated Divine Rivals 4 stars and Ruthless Vows 5. The love story within this, guys, is unbelievable. Basically, the premise of these books is that there are these gods that have been sleeping for thousands of years. However, they are now coming to light and basically persuading people to go to war and fight for them. So there's people that are on obviously different sides, they follow different gods. And then we have our main female character, Iris. So she is a journalist, and she soon figures out that she basically has a magical typewriter. And when she's sending these letters off, is going to someone. She thought she was sending these letters off to her brother who had recently enlisted in the war. However, a reply comes back one day and it says, "I'm not your brother." So that's the journey of Divine Rivals, figuring out who this is as Iris goes on this journey and learns more about the war and the gods. And honestly, like, oh, it's so good. I can't really say too much about this series because I do think it's good to go in blind, but just be prepared that you may get your heart ripped out at certain points. And oh my word, I think I read Ruthless Vows in 24 hours. I binged it and then I made my boyfriend get me, well, I didn't make him, he obviously wanted to. He got me the trophy of Ruthless Vows to go on my shelf, so I now have the perfect pairing. I'll be forever recommending this duology, especially for people getting into reading, because obviously it's young adult and no spice. So good. Okay, on to the final book that I read in August, and I rated this one a 4 stars, and this was Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, and this is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series. The book that precedes this is called Cinder, and this series is basically like scientific retellings of Disney classics. So obviously the first book, Cinder, followed a Cinderella-esque cyborg that needs to save the earth. And this one, our main character is called Scarlet, so as you can imagine, it's like Little Red Riding Hood story. This was so good. I, once again, plot-wise won't talk about this book, but in this series, especially this book, because I definitely preferred this one to Cinder, just because we are really introduced to a lot of side characters that are just so funny, and they really do bring so much to the story and the dialogue. It was just so enjoyable. Once again, another YA sci-fi dystopian fantasy that I've loved. I really do think that this is my genre and I should stick to it and read more that I like it. And my favourite part about this book as well is that we had dual chapters. So one chapter we're following Scarlet where she was, and then we're following Cinder, because Cinder, I love her. She's OG baddie, she is queen, and I could just read in her POV all the time. Obviously I think it's third person actually, but I could read about Cinder for forever. And I'm so excited to see where this series is going to go. If you haven't started this yet, please do, or let me know in the comments if it's on your TBR or if you've maybe read it and what you thought about it. But I need to know people's thoughts, because I feel like I'm the only one reading this right now and no one else on like Book Talk, BookTube talks about this series, and I need besties who do. On to the next portion of this video now. I have got a wheel spinner here, and I love doing these wheel spinner videos to pick books. It's so fun. So these all have emojis on them, like loads of different types. We've got like an alien, music notes, a skull, and basically I'm going to spin the wheel, and whichever emoji I get, I need to pick a book off my TBR shelf that mostly relates to the emoji. And I'm going to pick 5 books for this month. Obviously I read 5 last month, so let's stick with that number. Let's spin our first book. I get so nervous for this because I just never know what's going to come up. What do we have? Okay, so we have got the wand emoji, so something that's giving wizards. Oh my word. I have the entire Harry Potter collection. Obviously, I don't think I'll read the whole of it in September, but definitely the first book we can add to our TBR. She's perfect. I also have the Ravenclaw special editions because I am a Ravenclaw till I die. So we've got the sprayed edges and the Ravenclaw emblem on the front. Now I am excited because September 1st is the day that they go to Hogwarts in the stories. So what a time to start this. I'm so happy this one came up. Well, that was a bit easy, so let's do that again. What I'll do is I'll hide that slice that's already been on so it doesn't come up again. And we'll go for our second pick. I cannot believe Harry Potter's on there because I wanted to read that anyway, to be honest. Okay. I've got the music notes. This is one I was worried about because I'm a bit unsure. I just don't think that I have a book that corresponds to that right now. I think we're gonna have to skip that emoji just because I don't have anything and I feel like I'll just be making up a reason to read a book. So let's do pick number 2 again. Hopefully we'll get a bit more lucky this time. What have we got? Okay, a love heart. So I'm thinking a romance. Let's see what options I've got. Okay, so I've picked out 3 options that we could pick for this prompt. So I've got Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, Seven Summers by Paige Toon, and then Love Off Script by Laura Starkey. I was actually sent this one by a publisher, so this one is kind of intriguing towards me. However, so many people on Book Talk have been saying for me to read Seven Summers before winter comes just because it is such a good read. And then Love Theoretically, I've loved every Ali Hazelwood book that I've read so far, and I just love her women in STEM vibe. And I know this is within like that standalone series that the Love Hypothesis is in as well, and the covers are so cute. This is a really hard pick. I'm just gonna do Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I don't know the rest of the song, but I'm gonna pick you. Okay. Love Theoretically has been picked. I'm excited. I don't know much going into it. I don't know who it follows, but I know that The Love Hypothesis was one of my favourite romances last year, and I'm so excited to have this on my TBR. Picking our 3rd book now. I'm hoping it's like spooky season fantasy vibes, to be honest, this month, but I wouldn't mind a romance there. Okay, I've got a crown. This could be severely fantasy driven. So options for this one, I've picked up Burning Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Rebber. This is the 3rd book in the Twin Crowns series, and then I've got Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. They both got crowns on the covers and they're both following like royalty, but I think I'm going to go with Burning Crowns just because I need to get through this series. I have read the first 2 books already, so I'm excited for this. This follows 2 twins, and there's basically a lot that happens in that first book, but the whole premise is that witches are hated, the regular folk want to kill them, so they're being like massacred. And the first book basically follows one of the twins, and she kidnaps the other sister who has no idea she exists and takes her place pretending to be a princess to try and infiltrate the crown and the royal family and the castle, and it all just kicks off from there, and that's all I'll say on the matter. So I'm very excited to have this on my TBR. It's another YA and we cannot complain. Okay, spinning for book 4 now. I wonder which emoji we will get. Oh, it's a horse. I have one cowboy romance. I picked up 2 options because I'm not sure I'm in the mood for Done and Dusted by Lila Sade. I've heard such good things, but I just feel like the time has passed for this. Like, will I save this for next summer, next spring? Because I also have the Stable Boy of Auschwitz, which I've really been meaning to pick up, and I nearly did get rid of this. I feel like it's a really short book. It's literally less than 300 pages, so I feel like this will be a good one to add to my TBR. I'm going to go into this blind. It kind of says that Henry Oster was just 5 years old when Adolf Hitler took power in 1933. One of the 2011 Jews who were rounded up by the Gestapo and deported from Cologne. He was one of the only 23 to emerge alive from the concentration camps after the war. So is this a true story? It's a true account of a little boy. Will I be a wreck? Most likely, but it's going in the pile. Okay, picking our final book for the TBR for September. I'm really excited about this month. What have we got? Okay, Leaves. Any book that is fantasy is going to be giving autumn vibes in my opinion. Okay, so I don't have any that are particularly giving the autumn leaves vibe, but I've picked up The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni and Spark of the Other Flame by Penn Cole. I don't know, I'm leaning this way just because I want to save this book for when I can binge like the whole series at once, but I have no idea if this is a standalone or not. I'm just going to check quickly online. Okay, so there's 3 books in this series, so it's a commitment. I've really been wanting to read this for ages. Once again, know nothing about the plot or the world. We will sort that when we get to it, but I'm adding this to the TBR because it's got some like autumny leaves. I just don't have any books that are giving that, but this is definitely screaming autumnal, wintry read to me, which matches the emoji picked for us. So there we have it. That is the 5 books that I've picked for, well, the emojis have picked for me, but I like that we got a little bit of choice with it as well. So a little recap: The Prison Healer, and then The Stable Boy of Auschwitz, and then the 3rd book, Burning Crowns. I'm really excited for this one, I think. Love Furiously by Ali Hazelwood, a little romance thrown in there with all the heaviness as well. And Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm so excited to crack these open. I've been saving them for September, and I'm so happy they came up. Don't forget to let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books so we can have a little chat and debate as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content from myself, and I shall see you guys in the next one.